Hello. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a video thing because I just want to talk because I literally accomplished nothing today, and this will give me a sense of accomplishment. It is 12:47. um, I have no script or anything, as if I ever had a script in any videos. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about my mouse and my chair. But first, thing I go for I want to do. I'm gonna talk about this mod that I just made, Nectalios. Just by the stats alone, I knew I was gonna like it. I've been putting it off for so long too, like months and months. Even though it's pretty relatively simple to make, there's only like a few cuts and stuff. But I don't know, just cutting small things. Just you have to balance it and shit. It's just really it's not fun and not motivate or doesn't make me want to mod it because I rather cut like you know bigger or like I rather cut different things than small stuff, and then I have to balance the small stuff. Sanding small grips are just a pain. I don't like that's the reason I haven't made a TT mod. And yeah, but this mod, oh, great mod. There's a lot of sanding because you got to sand the clips, which I actually got lazy to do. You have to cut and you have to sand down the tip of it. My tip actually seems to be protruding a little, which it should not. But I did the exact same thing, so I don't know exact same I don't know thing, but I even used legit everything, so it seems it should work. Like I just bought 11 Dr. Grips from Amazon Day. I actually recommend it to everyone who plans to mod a lot. Just order a bunch of legit Dr. Grips off of Amazon.jp. I spent 60 Canadian dollars for 11, including the shipping. That is almost like $5 Canadian per Dr. Grip. Like people spend 10 for that, 10 for one, and this is 5, and you get 11. Well, I got 11. Yeah, you got 11 tips, 11 grips, 11 rings, 11 tubes. You get Dr. Gives such a versatile pen. You get so much, and that I found that and besides, because I just got it because I was really frustrated with just DGTs and fake DGTs. They're most all of them are like point 0.9 heavier than OGs, 0.6 heavier. They're inconsistent and they're heavier. They're always heavier, and that was just a wacky. I was like, frick it, man. I'm being an elitist. I want these exact because that's a big kind of jump, for me. So I figured, yeah, that's definitely a noticeable feeling too. So I didn't want to have that. I was just gonna get legit, and I needed clear DGs anyway, so I bought them, and I'm pretty satisfied with my purchase. Back to the Nectalios, I'm really loving it. Caps are kind of loose on. I guess I never actually needed type of, I guess mechanic. Maybe these I only used CTs. That were because that's all I had. That's the only non-legit part I used. Maybe they seem to be wider than normals because I never had I've usually had struggles putting on on CT caps on Salary Barrel. So it's kind of weird to see it it fall off pretty easily. My cat, shut up! Don't stop scratching the cat. But what? Oh yeah. Oh my god. Hey yo, chill. Okay, 1 second. I'm just gonna have a why. Holy shit. Ah. All right. Okay. Um. Yeah. Been loving the mod. Although it does look scuffed because cutting freaking sanding Sarasa, I started to have a little tear. Oh, a little tearing. I just did another like half face, a little tearing on the side here. So you can see a little white in there, and also the clips kind of suck balls. Like this for me, I wouldn't try to I don't know, and also the ends I didn't really sand down much. So overall, it's pretty ugly the way I made it, but I love the spin and um the way to balance it truly is you have to make sure the grips are fully matched. It's kind of annoying because there's like 4 grips on each end that you have to kind of like push in and shove because grips like contract and expand. So you have to really take note or have a strategy for that if you want it perfectly whatever if you care all that shit. I don't know. It's fine. I like it. I love it. I guess, yeah, nothing really else to complain about it. I used mechanical pencil barrel, if that matters. I guess, I don't know. I've never really actually compared the. It seems to be pretty much the same with, I don't know, whatever, you know. Yeah, great. Um, I recommend it. The stats for me were way up my alley. Of course, you know, it was on the shorter end, 20 centimeters, I think. 20, yeah, 20, 21, yeah, 20. Like my favorite length, 20 and or 21 to like 21.5, 22. Those are my favorite lengths. And this was also one of the weights. It's 19 grams or like 19, 20, 18. That I love that, you know, mid-weight ish on the heavier end, but it feels pretty light for a heavy. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's a great mod. I love spinning it for the few hours that I've been spinning it, and I sadly I did chose the most generic fucking color scheme, just full black. I guess, yeah, nothing really else to say. I did also have trouble getting the DX script to show. I guess I didn't pull it up far enough. I might redo for that, but honestly, I don't know if that's even worth it, to be honest. But that's really it. Yeah. Yeah, for Nictalios. Now we go on to the G305 or the G304 in other countries. I've always wanted this mod when I was into. Oh yeah, of course. Before I go into it, because I'm not that big on mice. I will preface that before you ever listen or thing, because you have to have a context on who is saying that thing. You know, you can go in to pen spinning and then see pen stock. You know, but you as a beginner, you don't know what he's like in or how he's regarding the community. I'll tell you my backstory on mice. I've had a fairly fairly not too extensive of a collection that I did end up I keep reselling and selling mice, just because I was trying to find the perfect fit. I've had the Zowie S2. I've had the Final Mouse Sunset. I've had this mouse, which is a fake a Viper Mini Ultimate, which doesn't exist yet. It's like a Viper Mini but wireless, basically. So which doesn't exist. So I found that cool. I've had a regular Viper Mini. I've had MM710. I've had a Glorious Model O. I've had a Death Adder Chroma. I've had some others too that I've definitely sold away. But yeah, I've had so much that I forgot. This was one of my things I wanted the most. Just because it was, I don't know, it just really appealed to me because it was cheap and it had great wireless, great battery life. And yeah, I think at one point it was ranked like 4th on Rocket Jump Ninja's like list, which was wow. I don't know. I guess now it's of course not because modern days, but this seemed to be definitely a highlight of the past. It was like if you couldn't afford the G Pro wireless, this was your next best thing for wireless mice. And you know, I didn't get it for playing video games. I got it for working like portably and stuff because it's kind of like a generic like. But I guess I have been using it as my main driver recently. No issues with battery. I haven't had yet to replacement batteries. One of the things I did do was an old school mod was where you take a AAA battery and stuck some tinfoil in there, and it works. It does lower the battery life, but it's lighter, and people do that. I've tried playing without the backrest, but honestly, for working around, I do tend to rest my palm. So I do usually most of this when scrolling around. I don't play games that much nowadays, but so nowadays I do take it off. I just put it on because, yeah, the clicks on it are oh god. The clicks on it are a little. They're not as crisp as maybe I want sometimes. It's kind of a so yeah, it's not as tight as maybe what I used to use or what or like for example my S2 clicks. I do miss those clicks. It was on a crisper side. I don't know what exactly clicks on this. they use, but it's a pretty generic like clips, but it's kind of like a lower pitch tone rather than a higher pitch tone. So, for example, in games, sometimes it might not be easy to if you have a gun and it has like a lot of bullets. If you click it once, it might fire 2 bullets instead of 1 bullet. For example, when I play Overwatch, I play Mei. I click it goes 2. Takes 2 usually, most of the times, rather than 1. So basically, I don't know. I just tend to hold down the click more because it feels like a slower click that I have to like push down more and more effort rather than a crisper click where I feel the tactility. Um, Other than that, yeah, the skates on here when I got them, it didn't really tell you, but like there's a clean layer that you have to peel off that I forgot to on the first time that I remembered. You have to do that. Yeah, the skates, kind of a generic skates. Of course, there are definitely aftermarket skates that have been existed, but these skates were okay. I don't game them, so I didn't have the need to replace them with core pads or anything. Yada yada. Complaints about this mice are like the shape of it, the egg shape. My fingers on the sides, honestly, they don't feel too much issue with it, to be honest. I don't like after getting used to it, or there's not that much like I don't know. I've never had any complaints about it. If I didn't hear anyone complain about it, I wouldn't complain about it. So like it's been a great it's a fine, it's small, it's minimal. I could throw this around, or I could drive it daily if I like to. This is my first wireless truly that I've tried using wireless, because this one, although it was wireless, I tend to use this one wired just because Deluxe, maybe I don't trust their wireless connectivity, I guess. Because originally I don't know, I should, but I just haven't been using a wireless. This one, I trust Logitech. Hell, they know their wireless stuff. I've been using it, and I haven't used it, and I think it automatically sleeps when you do it. I used to try to turn it off, like at the night, but I keep forgetting. But I don't think it runs actually when it does that. So it's been great. It's smart, good technology. It has a DPI button that I don't use, of course, because who switches DPI like that? Scroll wheel is fine, although there's no real complaints about it. It's the loudness of it. Honestly, I was kind of worried about because I was gonna take it to louder places, that the clicks might be too loud, but they don't seem honest. I feel like that's kind of something that I was just worried about when nobody really cares, I think, and I don't think you click that much when out like working on stuff, but yeah. Other than that, I haven't been exploring with the side buttons, honestly, but they seem okay. They don't seem that great in terms of like feel. It's kind of cheap, lower level, not higher level tactility. Less tactility than the mouse clicks per se. Although nothing to really complain about for me, because I don't use them for much, but they are small, so maybe I would have trouble clicking them in general, but they're fine. I think they're spaced in a fine way. Yada yada, symmetrical design, except it's not symmetrical with the side buttons, which is a good, because I'm right-handed. Yeah. That's really it to say with the mouse. No real complaints. Do I recommend it nowadays? Probably not. Because like, yeah, I could say Nictalius is a great mod. Get it. Like, I recommend. But you have to think about if it's really competitive with the market. And I think nowadays this is outdated, and there's many more cheaper alternatives that are coming up that are maybe more exciting than this. This is old. This is generic. This is boring. This works. Can I recommend it as something as for a new purchase? Maybe not. If you could get this used locally for cheaper, sure. If you want, but this is a boring. This is you can get something cooler that is more modern, more fresh. Because the mice technology has developed a lot, and I think you should probably participate or probably try one of those things, because there's probably definitely competitions for this thing that I haven't been in the community for a long time. So, but yeah, that's really it. I think I got the all white. I got it from AliExpress. Pretty cheap, pretty good. this was honestly the first thing that came to mind when I wanted a work mouse that was wireless, that was portable. So good on you, Logitech, for them being engraved in my mind like that. But yeah, great. I like it. I like that it's not too gamery too. So yeah, great, great mouse. Nothing to really complain about here. Now we're gonna talk about the chair, which you can see the padding here. If you recognize chair, you're gonna know. I got a few weeks ago. I got the Herman Miller Aeron, and this chair is pretty old per se. This chair was, I think, 2002 on September 11th. So 9/11, a year later. But it's basically, I guess I will explain my chair background first. A few months ago, I started having a chair phase, I guess. Just another one of those expensive hobbies that I have that I just wanted to get into. I felt like, I don't know, of just like office peripherals. I feel like that's what I like, because I sit in a chair all day. But yeah, one day I was like, this chair kind of sucks. The chair I had, it was some random gaming chair from Costco. My mom got it as a gift though, so I kind of feel bad for maybe but my sister used it. I hope but I wanted a new chair. I felt like my chair kind of sucked, so I got a new chair. This chair I found used. It was 300 Canadian dollars. I felt like it was worth it because the market in my city isn't that big, extensive. Like, I've been actually checking the market every day for chairs on Facebook Marketplace every day now. Since then, there hasn't been a better offer really. Except there was one person selling like a $50 for a Herman Miller sale who didn't even know what the sale was. He was selling as a freebie, the sale as a freebie with a desk. Holy shit. Sadly, I didn't need a chair. The sale's a little controversial. Although it would have been like I could have resold it. It was a lot of hassle to get a desk and the chair to transport that. That was a lot of hassle that I didn't want to go through. That maybe it would have been smart too, but I don't have any transportation to get to pick up a desk, man. But yeah, the back to the chair. My chair background. I've been extensive. I've bought this chair and I've been interested. I've been browsing. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of reviews. I like watching reviews for things, and I've been watching chair reviews. It's an odd habit for chairs. Office chairs, high-end office chairs. That I also bought another chair. I bought a Leap V2. I also and I don't think I'll actually get that because I got it off some sketchy guy off eBay. So I think I'll get a refund for that. But yeah, this, because I'm pretty satisfied with this chair. I don't need another chair right now. But yeah, nothing. Chair background, not much. Very new to chairs. Very interested in chairs though. Because I've been watching videos, I've been browsing, I've been going to like Staples, to my local like Herman Miller retailers, and just trying chairs. I've been going out of my way and bussing just to do that because it's fun and I want to see. I've tried I wanted to try the Hiken. I've tried all the Herman Miller stuff, and I've been wanting to try the other stuff too. I've been looking in office windows and identifying the chairs. That is just, I've been just curious. I've been taking detours to walk by office spaces to look in the windows to see what chairs they're using. And so that's my little background of what I've been doing. I got the Herman Miller chair, very old chair. It came with not the newer posture fits though. It came with a little adjustable lumbar support. Although it exists, I actually, since I'm new to chairs, I don't know where the lumbar support is supposed to be really. But in my situations, I haven't really, like Herman Miller actually have said, I think, that they've kind of put that there just because people thought that a high-end chair needed lumbar support. So yeah, I guess it's not really needed. There's an option without a lumbar support too. So it doesn't seem too aggressive in the position I put it in, and I'm not sure. Apparently, it's supposed to, of course, reshape, give support to shape your back and stuff. Um, but that's not, to give that natural curvature of your back some support. But I think the chair already does a good job of that, and on its own. So it might not be needed. I do like the just having it there. Apparently, if you flip it around, it's more adjustable. But yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, now it's back to my actual thoughts. Um, Herman Miller Aeron, the most identifiable office chair in the world, the most popular, the most, and it's a great chair. It's like a staple. It's used by so many people. It's seen by so many people. It's like if your office is getting bougie, you gotta get the Aeron, right? Or like nowadays, of course, Aeron's kind of maybe outdated. That is one complaint that people have. Aeron is outdated, but I really like. That being said, it was ahead of its time. I will say that. But yeah, oh my god, I'm going ahead of my things. But to conclude, to start off, I really love the chair. The chair has been great for me. There are some complaints though. Not everyone likes the Aeron, and I can see why that not everyone likes the Aeron. It makes first one thing. You cannot putting your legs up and crisscrossing it is kind of uncomfortable for some. I can do it, but maybe I don't like doing it because there's at the front you have the metal thing. At the front of it is you have a chair here. It's kind of it's a mesh design, right? And on the sides you have metal. And when you have a chair, it has a metal around at the ends and then mesh. So when you have that, it's kind of, you also have under here, you have another a plate here. So basically when you're crisscrossing your legs, you're hitting the metals on the sides and the fronts, and it's just uncomfortable to sit on metal like that when you have mesh under it and stuff. And so when you're sitting, you're not supposed to. This chair wasn't designed for that. And the chair, to put it simply, puts you in a way where you have to sit in that way. And yeah, or else you kind of touch contact points where you're not supposed to. You touch the metal as the front. If you start to sit in a weird way, you might put external pressure on the mesh and make it maybe wear out or sag. Although it's a very great material, it doesn't sag as easily. This 20-year-old chair, it doesn't have much sag. It has a little bit because because I think I'm fat and I think I sat in it in a weird way, but it's does not noticeable nowadays when I sit up in it. It's very small. You have to look at it at angles. Not much sag, just because which is something you don't want in a chair. People get their Staples Hikens. It's a great budget chair. Something that very nowadays it's probably well rated, but yeah, great chair, the Staples Hiken, but it does sag pretty quickly, within a year, year 2 or 3, people I've been saying it sags, so then they have to get a new one, that sucks. Herman Miller is meant to last. Herman Miller, I love, people will say, yeah, so expensive for a chair, yada yada, but blah, that's suck it. I of course get used, yeah, Herman Miller scamming, I think they're a great company. I think they've changed the furniture game. They're doing great stuff. I really love it. But yeah, back to the chair. chair is I don't know. It's a great chair. I do think that maybe I need to adjust this up, to be honest, now that I look at it. But yeah, since I don't know why they're down here, since I'm not that short, but yeah. Old model, of course. Definitely look out in the used market to get one of these, because these around for ages. You can get them for pretty cheap, apparently. And I bet probably definitely in other countries. But yeah, something to really say except that it's a great chair. I've been loving it. I personally think it has improved my posture a lot. Cause I don't know, it's just, oh yeah, chair. Everything works really. Oh yeah. Oh my god, what am I going? I'm just saying nothing that's practically useless. The design of it, I will say that it is maybe a little outdated to some extent, but it's also ahead of its time. Like if you look at it, it's just it's like in like the modern art museum or something permanently or something. It's a great looking chair, although it might be like curved a bit. So it's kind of, it has to take some time to get used to for me. Like I wasn't a big fan of the Aeron. I didn't like the Aeron growing up. I mean, not growing up, but like when I originally was looking at or interested in chairs, Aeron was something that was not on my list. But after looking at it alone or some other colorways, you have to like, I just like grew to love it. It's like sleek. It has like that, I don't know, steampunk design, I guess that some people call it. It's it's a great looking chair, and I can see why it's in some like TV shows and stuff. But it's an iconic chair too. But the one thing that's outdated of it is that although they did refresh it, is that the seat, you cannot control where, like how forward or back it goes. You cannot control how forward or back it goes when like compared to like the rest. Like this is the back here, you cannot do that to it, you know. So which means you have to really measure out or like take account uh to what um to what size you get, because there's A, B, and C. I got the B size for me. It's a great, I work size for me because I'm not that tall and I'm not that short really. But yeah, great size for me. Although they do have a range, is that so basically you have to really, because that's something that's kind of um important per se, because you don't want your legs overhanging it, like overhanging on it like too much per se. Like you want to have that, gap, a small gap between your legs and the chair, but not too much, right? And to be comfortable, to get that perfect like leg thing on it. But that's not something that you can do on the Aeron. You have to make sure you get a little thing, or I mean, you have to make sure you get the right size. And if you're in an office environment, that might not be feasible. You can't get different sizes for everyone and then swap outside. That's kind of a lot of, that's not something that's really realistic per se, or not something that's really appealing for owners. Because how do you know that? Are you just gonna get equal amounts of everyone? Because what if the people you're hiring are all like the same height? Or what if you have to really think about, as a business standpoint, what chairs would be the best to invest in. You want something that's versatile and that if somebody leaves, it will fit another person, right? If you order the Aerons, you might have to get all Bs rather than getting a mixture of all A, B, and Cs, because these are expensive chairs. And to get all A, Bs, and Cs, maybe you don't have very many like very, very short people. So all those A's are going to waste, and you have to, you have to get more B's and C's now. But then they leave, and then there's shorter people, and it's a lot of hassle, and that not everyone wants to go for. So of course, I guess if you're an office owner, it's maybe not the most modern. Well, that's like an example here, but you know yeah, that's just an example of how it could be outdated per se. Although it does have a lot of adjustments that I think you have to pay for if you're getting new. Mine came fully stocked with adjustments. I guess you can see I can swivel and shit, and I can do the little tensing thing for when you go back. The Aeron apparently has a unique like recline thing, and that's why it's like the Aeron. It has like a unique feel, but that's not really something to write home about. Like I personally don't think that's much to compare, or that's much to you know uh, it's not like, I feel like other chairs do something that's similar per se, like especially other Herman Miller chairs, they have unique reclines per se. But yeah, it's a great feeling though. It's a great feeling. Herman Miller, oh, great chair. I just love it, man. That's really all to say. It's gonna last forever too. 20 years, and I can still sit in it and enjoy it, and there's no real signs of, except a little sag, to be honest. But that, yeah, what could be helped with that? 20 years and just a little bit, and that's probably due to me not sitting in it correctly. Like, not even from my seller, from me. Just, you know, if I sat in it correctly, it'd be fine. It's fine and all. Yeah. But bam. Um what else do I say? Do I don't know. What else to think? It's a great chair. I love the material, mesh, breathable design. When it's hot, of course, great. Do I think it's what would I say now? Do I recommend it? Tough question. I don't think it's for everyone because not everyone wants to ball out. Not everyone has the money per se, and to a lot of people, hey, uh, don't you probably shouldn't get it because it's just a chair, right? A lot of people say, oh, it's just a chair. Why should it cost like what, $2,000, something like that? But yeah, it's something I found it to be an investment for me because I'm gonna be sitting in my desk a lot, and I want something that's not, and if you're gonna be doing that, I wanna spend and make sure that, and it's also affecting like your health, right? So I wanted something that I trust. It's a great chair. Is this copium for me spending money on a chair when I already had a chair? I don't. Maybe no. I don't think so. I really truly think it's worth. It's brought me a lot of comfort. Brought me a lot. Like anecdotally, it has brought me better posture. Hopefully for the future too, and yeah, and like I do recommend for some, not all. Like also, yeah. Speaking of design, it's also outdated in the that you can't like the armchairs. You can't like it's not as 4D as like steel case stuff, right? Um, not Then again, yeah. Um, I guess that's really it here. They all it's very customizable too. Yada yada. Blah blah blah. And they also have really good warranty, 12-year warranty, and they have, of course, only if you buy it new. But I don't recommend buying new. I recommend buying used. So do I recommend it to you? Maybe. I recommend that you can probably go. I recommend that if you want a new chair, this should be on your list. I recommend everyone, but make sure you really like the design, make sure you really like how it looks, and make sure you sit in it and truly sit in it. Go to a retailer. Herman Miller is very popular. So they're probably a local retailer. Sit in a chair. Make sure you actually like it because it's a very distinct. It's a hit or miss, right? People love it or people hate it because you can't. Make sure you try sitting in it or maybe try because you cannot sit cross legs for some people. Some people it's a little buggy, and you have to really sit a specific way to really love it. If you go up and sit at the front of your thing, maybe you probably won't like it. You probably want to get something different. But if you sit in the same place and you want to sit in the same place, if you want to learn how to sit in the same place in your chair and just, that's it, I definitely do. But I definitely do for maybe don't, you know, but yeah, I definitely do. Um, I do recommend though if you don't care about warranty and stuff, be like me and just scroll through the used market. You can probably find a good deal. Like these go for like what 300, 200, sometimes even like 100 something. And I recommend people to just search up chair and then just wait because some people don't know that they have a Herman Miller Aeron and they just sell it under office chair for like $50, and you will want to snag them quickly. You want to go to that person and basically rob them. And yeah, that's really it. I love, you know, it's gonna be my main chair for a long time, to be honest. So I'm a big fan. Nothing really else to say. I'm glad it's a great purchase that I don't like. I would probably I feel very satisfied with my purchase. Very satisfied with the price I got. Very no real issues at all. No, it's a chair that lasts, and yeah, it might be a little expensive from front if you're getting it front, but there's warranty and this lasts for years. This is a 20-year-old chair. Do I recommend if you find something 20 years old? If I do I recommend a 20-year-old Herman Miller Aeron off of some random guy, that lives near you? I would, because these chairs last a long time, last for decades. They're made to last. I that's like saying the same. I just said the same thing with like 4 sentences, but yeah, It has a Gary approval. Of course, because it's a classic. Hell yeah. But yeah, that's really it. Thank you. Um, yeah.